you always been overlooked award-wise? How's it, I guess, feel to get first team selection? Kind of
Yeah. It's great. It's great to be able to get that recognition, but at the same time, we still got a long season ahead. I think, at least me personally, I've been snubbed these last 2 years from Big East Awards, so it's nice to deserve some recognition, but at the same time, it doesn't mean anything. I think it's more so those awards at the end of the season to see, who really performed at the highest level, and, that's my goal this year, is to perform at the highest level for the team this year, and, to solidify myself as one of the best players in the Big East, and, it's great. It's great to get recognized, and, I'll take it for now.
Alex, how do you look back on your entire offseason, all you experienced, and, testing in NBA waters, and lots to juggle, or?
It was stressful. It was definitely stressful. I think it was a huge learning opportunity for me. I learned a lot about myself, my game, and who I am as a person through those moments, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I have no regrets making this decision. I've always had a gut feeling that, I needed another year, and I'm glad that I, followed through with that, and being able to spend another year here with the coaching staff and with new guys and the players, it's special, and, I'm beyond excited for this season, beyond excited to continue to prove myself.
Alex, have you had a chance to maybe step back and think about what the historic opportunity that is in front of you, the opportunity to do something that very few, if any, players have ever done?
I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I did come back is, I believe we have a great chance at, chasing a three-peat and adding myself to history. And if I could be one of the most winningest college players of all time, that's something I would have never thought would happen, going through the recruiting process in high school. So, I just can't wait, and, I got to, make sure I get myself and the guys on the team to realize that, this moment's once in a lifetime, and we have an opportunity in front of us that, we may never see again in college basketball.
Alex, how's it for you and the rest of the locker room amid Coach Hurley's future opportunities?
What, with the Lakers? Or?
Yeah, for you as a team, how did you guys respond to that?
Oh, we responded, better. We were stronger from it, and whether we were all happy for him when he was going through that process, but at the same time, when he was going through it and after it, we just made sure we were stronger, and obviously we were just happy that he's back.
And how did it feel for you, knowing that you already decided to return back, and then hearing all of this? How did this run through your head?
Yeah, it was stressful. I mean, it's obviously not the news that, you'd want to hear selfishly, but, for Coach Hurley, I was beyond happy because he's changed my life. He's changed countless of other players' lives too, and he deserved to go out there and, make himself a decision for himself and his family, and, we were all just happy that he did that, and we were all happy that he came back.
Alex, how has Coach kind of broached the idea of the three-peat and the fact that you guys have the opportunity to do something no one's done since the 70s?
Yeah, I think he reminds us that, we're chasing after, historic things, and it's always a privilege to wear the UConn jersey, and he reminds us about that every single day. But we're not talking about that right now. We're more so talking about just how can we become a better team heading into tomorrow or heading into today's practice, and making sure that, the guys just take steps every single day to, reach the level that we could ultimately be at.
How does this roster compare to the last two at this point?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of young guys on the team. We're relying on a lot of freshmen and sophomores to make that jump. We got 2 new transfers, and who could really do big things for us, and some returners that have to make some big time jumps for us. So really, we're relying a lot on the developmental program in this program, and making sure guys are ready for the challenge.
Hassan said his team has more shooting than last year's team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the shooting and our offensive ability is something that's, super unique and something that's different from the last 2 years. And, I think it's more so we just got to find it on the defensive end and find that toughness as well.
How much is Liam part of that, Alex? You mentioned the shooting.
Yeah, he's big time. Bringing in other talented guys and really just having a belief system within one another that we could truly do something special. But it all starts with the depth, and you see it during practice too, just how competitive they are, and how, if one guy's not playing well, there's always a backup.
And what are we going to see different from Samson this year?
I think it's offensively. I think, he's be able to, put on the ground a little bit more, just attack it some more, and just continue to be that presence defensively for us, blocking shots. But I think besides those things, just being a leader and always just leading by example.
Alex, you've been here for a few years now. How do you kind of teach the culture of UConn basketball to the younger guys?
I think it starts with, being in practice every single day and setting the standard, and that's the standard with how you're supposed to play, and that's not always just making shots, but being the hardest worker, being, set the standard discipline-wise with the techniques and how Coach Hurley wants offensively, defensively. And then, just making sure the guys have confidence every single day, just being by their side, whether through the, the struggles or the highs, just making sure everyone is locked in on a daily basis and wanting to get better, realizing it is a privilege to wear this uniform.
Have you kind of taken anybody under your wing, like a transfer or a freshman?
Liam's been under my wing. I'll say all the wings really have been under my wing. Liam, Zay, Stewie, J. Ross. Those guys are more specifically I've been focusing on, just trying to help them, throughout practices and talk to them a lot more off the court. But more so, I got to take all the guys under my wing. I mean, the experience I've had the last 2 years, it's something that, no one else has and in college basketball. So really just using my voice a lot more to help the guys out.
The team had this unique ability to be hungry coming off the title.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of the same guys. Now they're less the same guys. How do you guys keep that hunger and not, won 2 titles in a row? It's easy to be overconfident or that stuff. How do you guys keep that intensity and hunger?
I think it obviously starts with wanting to make the new guys experience that feeling that I've felt the last 2 years of winning a national championship. For the returners, it's more so for the sophomores. They want to go back-to-back, experience, winning that and being a part of something truly special. Then, for myself, Haas and Samson, like I said, we have the chance to three-peat, and that's something that's, unheard of in college basketball now. And to be able to add myself, to, wanting to be one of the most winningest players in college history, that's something that's motivating me every single day. And, just to have that chance at it, it's something that, makes me want to get better, makes my teammates want to get better every day.
Coach,
Alex,
when
intense.
think back to your first year in the program, you were behind the scenes, you weren't playing, you were redshirting, and compare and contrast it to what it's evolved into today, where you're at Big East Media Day and surrounded like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of surreal, maybe. Would you say?
It is surreal, but I think the day I met Coach Hurley on my visit, I knew that he was going to do special things. And, it's surreal what he's done in this program and just how he's been able to change it so quickly. But, at the same time, it's a blessing. And, it's just what makes Coach Hurley so special, too. It's just the hunger that he wants more. And, he recruits guys like myself and other guys, too, that want more, too.
For you, what do you remember of those early days when you arrived and you just felt like you were trying to fit in initially?
No. Redshirt me, I had no beard. I didn't know what to expect. I looked way younger than before. So I've grown a lot mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. Really being in this program has changed me. I feel like a new person right now ever since I stepped on campus. And, I don't even know how to think about it right now. I'm going to think about it, once my basketball career is done. And, I'm always just going to laugh at the moments. And I still see the pictures, too, freshman year, just how ridiculous I looked.
How much has your game developed since then?
A lot. It's developed a lot. I think it's more so the confidence standpoint. I think my confidence is through the roof right now, and just providing more offensively every single year and being able to, step up to the task. And, I've provided such a great role for the last 2 years, and, I have a new role this year, and just being able to live up to those expectations and really be the guy for the team this year.
And you mentioned
Alex, you had to convince your mom about UConn.
Yeah.
Is she on board now with everything that's happening?
She has.
You've had academic success as well as
She has no problems with UConn at all. She loves it here, and she's very happy that, as a family, we ultimately decided to come here. And she loves the coaching staff. She loves, Chris, our academic counselor. She loves every single person, and it's the best decision I ever made.
And you mentioned, Alex, it's only been 2 years. It must feel like an entire lifetime with how many players have come in and out of UConn.
Yeah.
What is it like now with this core, and what are you looking forward to this season?
I think every team, it's a new challenge, and, it's the reset button. That's the hardest thing, is really trying to, get back to the level that we were at last year. And I'm excited to experience those challenges. I'm excited to gain new friendships and teammates that bonds forever, that last a lifetime. And I truly can't wait. And, every season it presents new challenges, as I said, and we're looking forward to it.
Alex, what kind of expectations do you feel Coach Hurley has for you, and how do you take that going forward?
Yeah, I would say, Coach Hurley holds me to a high standard each and every day. He wants me to be the best leader I can be the best player that I can be for this team to be successful. And he holds me to that each and every day.
What are your expectations for yourself coming into this year? I mean, do you want to be the leader of this team, the face of this team?
I would say, the leadership is a combination of me, Alex, and Sam. We have to do our jobs at a high level because we've been here the longest and we've been a part of the last two national championship teams. Personally, it's all about winning for me. Whatever the team needs me to do to win, and that's what I'm about.
Can you talk about your progress as a player and how far you've come since you transferred here?
Yeah, I mean, my progress has been really big, especially with my jump shot. This past year, I've been trying to, add some weight, add some muscle to my body, just becoming stronger and becoming smarter.
How is the jump shot coming along for you? I mean, do you believe that you can be a double-figure scorer for this team?
Yeah, definitely. I think my jump shot has come a long way. Last year, I shot 36% from three. I'm looking to elevate that this year.
What did you change? Was it just the arc on your shot?
Yeah, it was the arc of my shot, and I'm been trying to figure out this summer, just getting it off quicker.
When you look at the talent that you have around you, how much fun is it to be the point guard for a program like UConn with national championship aspirations again?
Oh, it's truly a blessing. It's an honor, honestly, to the men that wore this jersey before me. I have to do it justice by honoring them the right way. But this team, it's easy to play on this team because so many guys can do so many things. Most of the guys can shoot the ball from deep. So lanes are open. I'm able to get them open shots, and they're going to make it.
You've done everything at UConn with the championships and winning the Big East tournament. What's it like being here for your first Big East Media Day?
That was pretty cool, being back in New York. I always love coming to Madison Square Garden. We always have good memories here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
How did Coach Hurley react after that Rhode Island game when you guys watched the film? What did he say to you guys?
I would say, Coach, he's our biggest critic, but it's for the good. We broke down the whole game, probably took like an hour 45 to break down the whole game. Took us a couple of days, honestly. But he was just like, we have our ways to get better, but you see the potential in this team.
He wasn't happy with the rebounding, especially the defensive rebounding. What can you do as a guard to kind of help that out?
Yeah, I got to get in there, help the bigs out like Sam and Taris, chip down on the other bigs, get in there and grab loose balls. I got to get to the nail, grab long rebounds, just picking my spots and getting on the glass.
What do you see as your role on this team?
Just going out there, being able to facilitate, get these guys open shots, being able to create, defensively be a pest. I'll be probably ended up on the other team's best perimeter player, and just doing things like shutting them down.
Is it exciting for you to get a bigger role now to be one of the focal points of this team?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. But I have to do my job out there. I can't be worried about the excitement when you have a job to do. We're trying to win championships, and I have to do that.
And Big East Sixth Man of the Year last year. Big East Sixth Man of the Year last year. We saw you start in the Rhode Island scrimmage. Is that the expectation going forward? Do you set expectations in your head, or what are you thinking after that speech?
Yeah, I don't really set expectations. I set goals, and most of my goals are team goals. So whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
Stas, how would you describe the offense that you guys run to someone who maybe isn't a basketball X's and O's person? What's unique, new, different?
There's a lot of movement. I would say multiple guys making decisions with the ball. We're not really dribble dominant. Coach and his staff does a great job of putting the defense in compromise position for us, and it makes it easy for us. Free flowing, and just a lot of movement.
So obviously a lot of expectations for this team this year with the repeat and everything, but Val Ekman said in her speech about like how she expects more teams to increase the bids in this tournament than last year where we underperformed. How do you expect the Big East as a whole in a position to get me 6 or 7 bids this season?
Yeah, I mean, last year I think we had 3. Probably could have had 4 or 5. This year, just looking at these teams' rosters, we can easily have 5 teams in there, maybe 6. And I think that the Big East has done a good job of communicating that, and I think the teams will produce this year so we can get those bids.
Hassan, have you guys, just Hurley or any of you guys talk about the idea that you're going for history this year, that no one has done what you're trying to do since the 70s?
Yeah, we talk about it, definitely. We have spoken about it as a team, as a group, as a program. We're aware, and I think we have to be aware of it to understand what's at stake for us, and that, we have to go get it, and it's going to take everything we have.
How exciting is it to have that opportunity at history like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly a blessing. Not many people get this opportunity, but we're grateful for it. But we understand that, the opportunity. We don't want to let the opportunity go away. We want to take advantage of this opportunity and actually make history.
As coach, as more intense this year in the preseason than he was last year? Is he similar? How would you just compare how he's trying to get this team ready?
I mean, coach is always intense. For the last 2-3 years I've been here, coach has never changed. He's never lied. He's always tell the truth, and he's always brought it every day.
How would you compare the talent on this team to the last team?
I would just say we're super talented. I would say this team probably could shoot better than last year's team, just with the amount of shooters and how many people can shoot from deep. But I mean, I think the talent matches up pretty well.
What about you?
Guys are listening. They want to be coached. They want to listen to the older guys. To the more experienced guys. And I feel like it's a great thing for our team.
Is there anyone in particular that's really stood out so far?
I would say pretty much all of them. The freshmen. Liam, Isaiah, all of them.
We talked about on Monday, the AP released its first team All-Americans. And, to the surprise of many, Alex Karaban was left off that list and is playing with them for the past couple of years. I mean, what's your immediate reaction to that? I mean, you've been playing with him for a while, you've been practicing with him, and you're growing close personally. So I was wondering if you could give me your reaction on that news.
I feel like he deserved to be in, those conversations, those preseason teams. And, I feel like he's been left out for, I don't know what's the reason, but I feel like he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year again. AK is a great player, an even better, person, teammate, he's going to help the team a lot this year.
And going off of that, I mean, do you guys embrace this underdog persona that people, despite all your success, people are still not looking at you like the way you probably want it to be? I mean, you guys ranked third in the country, and I know Coach Hurley's going to have a lot to say about that. But I mean, do you guys really look at that and take that as motivation?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more motivation for us. I don't know a lot of teams that won back-to-back national championships, and for us to not being number one, is for me personally, it's more motivation. I know for our team, for the coaching staff, it's more motivation. To prove a lot of people wrong again.
And with the shoes that you and Terrace are expected to fill with Donovan, I mean, where does that motivation to be great like that stem from?
You just see, the greatness that they had, the approach, how they approach the games, how dominant they were, and you feel motivated by it, and you wanna be as good, you wanna do as good as them, and feel like we have the best coaching staff that can help us along and push us to be the best we can be, and on top of that, just not think about yourself, not be so consumed by yourself, and think about the team first always.
Do you still talk to Adama or Donovan at all?
Yes. I actually had DC texted me last night. He texted me and we talked a little bit. We chatted up.
Thank you so much.
UConn basketball, probably one of the most prestigious programs in college basketball right now. How do you kind of teach that culture to the young players coming up?
It's just all about just attacking every single day, giving every single day all you got. Giving everything you have. Behave well on and off the court, and being consumed with the team always. And be all about winning.
And on and off the court for yourself, what would you expect for yourself for the upcoming season?
I expect a great year out of myself. Obviously for the team, we want to win every single championship, every single tournament, every single game as possible. And obviously our ultimate goal is to go for three-peat. And I know I have the guys. I have the best guys around me, to help the team reach that goal.
Thanks.
Thank you.
March Madness is their best time. You won a couple times for players when you were starting to play basketball. How she expects these to have an increase in the tournament teams compared to last year, which wasn't as big as we expected. How do you think the rest of the Big East will in a position to get like 6 or 7 bids this season?
Yeah, I really feel like the Big East is the best conference in the country, and definitely deserve to have more teams in the tournament. It'll be a great thing for us, for the conference. And, we all know the Big East is a tough conference, so why not have the toughest teams in the biggest tournament of the year?
Yeah, obviously, UConn's coming off back-to-back championships. Since like, what is that old championship feeling? It's like for you guys.
It's a great feeling. Not a lot of teams go back-to-back, so it was a great accomplishment for us. At the same time, we're not satisfied. We want more, and we work every single day to get more.
How happy are you that Dan Hurley turned down a large contract with the Lakers to come back to coach you guys on the way towards a chance for three-peat?
I was really happy. It meant a lot for us, for our coach to stay with us, and shows that he really cared about us, really cared about the team and the program. To turn down an offer like that, I don't think a lot of guys would do that, but Coach Hurley is such a humble, great person, and we're really happy that he stayed with us.
Pretty good voice to the fact that the committee only took 3 Big East teams last year, and that you felt that they had really missed the boat on it.
Yeah.
Are there things that are different this year that you think will prevent that from happening again?
Well, I mean, I could already see it in the AP poll. I could already see it in the AP poll, the lack of respect that the Big East gets from that standpoint. I don't know what was Creighton, right? 15. I mean, we should have 5 teams minimum in the top 20. We should be obviously. You know how I feel about the rankings based on what we were able to do back-to-back years. Marquette should be highly ranked, Creighton should be highly ranked, Xavier should be highly ranked. What Sean did with that roster, and the fact that Sean's one of the best coaches in the country, so you got those 4, you got what St. John's has done with their, we should all be ranked in the top 20. I don't know how many of those teams are ranked in the top 20. Creighton should be going into the season top 10, so should Marquette. But the league just, we got buried by the committee last year. That was clear once the tournament started too, based on those results. So just not, I don't know if we have a strong enough voice in that room. I don't know who's representing us in that room this year in the Big East. I'm just focused on winning my games, winning our games at UConn so we could play our way in. But I guess when there's just a bunch of, athletic directors or administrators or people, from the big football conferences in that room, there's not a lot of people that are supporting what is the best basketball conference in the country. We are. The Big East is.
Alex has always been overlooked a little bit for awards. It's
Yeah.
at least nice to see him get some preseason recognition.
Yeah, Alex does a shitty job of drawing attention to himself. Besides winning championships and accomplishing what he's accomplished in his career, if he was more, if he did more TikToks and, if he did more things to draw attention to himself, he would have solidified his preseason All-American status with the AP, which to me is just, you're rewarding the wrong things if you don't reward a back-to-back champion, 2-year starter, one of the best players in the Big East, the guy that I'm sure was up there in the voting with Kalkbrenner for Big East Player of the Year. When the best basketball conference in the country, like one of the 2 best players in the league, can't get more recognition and more notoriety. We just value the wrong things in sports. We're valuing, people that are social media creations. We don't value champions and people that go about their business in the right way. But that's probably a societal issue too.
Coach,
How much will you talk about the potential to make history? Have you broached it, and how much will that be
I've talked about the historical nature of our season pretty consistently because it's the elephant in the room that is there, and you can't hide from this opportunity. That's why I've coached this team so hard. I've coached this team harder than I've coached any other team that I've had because I know the challenge that lies ahead and the level that people have studied us and how we play, and how people are preparing to beat us, and the target, and just how relentlessly you have to strive to improve to defend what we have right now.
When was the first time you mentioned it to the guys?
Pre-first summer practice in June. This is where we're at here. Everyone has signed on. I probably mentioned it in the recruiting process to the transfers and Liam McNeely, and the season that we're going to embark on is going to be rare in terms of what we can accomplish to literally, join those UCLA teams. That level of sport, that's why yesterday was such a messy day in practice. You could see I'm still upset, right? About the way things went and how not up to preparing for that type of season we were as a group collectively.
Dan, you've talked about how much you're motivating yourself and putting more pressure on yourself. For you to be courted by an NBA franchise, and not just anyone, but one of the marquee franchises in the sport over the summer, how much has that driven you to do more with the group you have now coming back?
I think you look at the whole situation, and it's validation for I think the path I've taken to this point, just all the benefits of being a high school coach for a significant amount of time, coaching at Wagner, coaching at Rhode Island, taking all these proper steps along the way that the way coaches used to get jobs like UConn, now they just that's their first job at this level. I just think I have a lot of pride just in my journey to this point, and the validation of that with that opportunity. But more so, I don't think about it a whole lot. I'm so obsessed with the next recruit that we want to get, this practice that I've got at 4 o'clock today, that I'm like absolutely obsessing over how well that goes, and how locked in I am on the opener.
You've talked about Alex coming back in his process. For you guys to go through almost the same kind of decision together and be each other's sounding boards, how important was that for your relationship and vice versa? We
have a unique connection. I think me and Alex Karaban are wired the same way. We think about our family, and then we think about basketball. And then we go back to thinking about our family, and then we think about basketball more. And then, you know, I may pray. And then I'll think about basketball again, or my wife again. I mean, we don't have a lot of extra space in our lives for anything that doesn't involve our pursuits in basketball and our family, and that's why we're so connected at the hip. And I don't know that I'll ever have a relationship. Just these unique human beings I've had a chance to coach these last couple of years, the Klingons, the Cam Spencers, the Jordan Hawkins, the Andre Jacksons. If we keep getting the right type of people, we're not going to go anywhere.
Dan, did you watch any of the Lakers game last night, or did you have time for that? Did you have any thoughts watching that?
No, I went to dinner. With my wife and my oldest son, Danny, who works for Scutari over in Jersey. He's in the
Coach, how did your players respond to the whole Lakers process, and then how's that to inform them that you're staying?
Yeah, they were for a couple days. They were in a tough spot. Zach actually got cut off there.
Got cut off big time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you have a better answer?
No, we had a nice dinner, and then
my apologies, Coach.
I went and caught the second half because I saw some of the stuff that JJ was running in the preseason. He was running some really, really good stuff offensively. So I tried to get back to my hotel room so I could try to steal some things from him. That's what all of us coaches are doing. So.
Do you think Ronnie would benefit from some G League time?
All right, come on.
Dan, if you talk to anyone,
Sorry, I forgot what you said because
my apologies. That was my
my
apologies.
talk to any other coaches about. I mean, it's happened so infrequently, but I don't think Billy Donovan again about what it's like to try to win
the third year. No, I think Coach K, obviously, Billy Donovan, the people that the ones that have had a shot at it, but they're just mentors anyway of mine that I'll talk to. If I have a situation like I did this past summer or what have you. But it is such a unique position to be in. And ours is so different because, we're returning basically no one. It's crazy to see the amount of players that we've cycled through. And then you have players in our league that like played against Josh Carlton. You know what I mean? And they're still in the league. And we're so many players removed from just 2 years ago. So it's so unique, the position we're in.
What does it say about your depth, the fact that Aiden gets named third team, preseason third team, and he might not even start for you guys?
Yeah, in a way, I think, with the transfers, this is obviously, there's adjustments that they've got to make because of the work rate, the intensity, environment, how we play every possession. For anyone that comes into the program, particularly a college transfer, who's done it a much different way, it's almost different than a high school player that you recruited and hasn't been in college before. It's almost easier transition, even though they're less experienced players. So. I guess you could look at it two ways, right? You could say we must be really good if a guy that's a really, really good player like Aiden did not start the exhibition game, where the quality around him is good enough for him to be in an off-the-bench role in the first one. But you could also be saying to yourself, we really needed this guy to come in and play like Tristan, play like Cam. So you could look at that one of two ways. Liam is getting healthier. I think it's going to be a 2 to 3 week injury, maybe a little bit longer. Calf is something that you don't really want to mess with.
So is it kind of incumbent on that? Hopefully he'll be healthy for Maui more so than the season opener or anything like that.
I think just getting him back as soon as he's healthy and not. I think he needs reps, and you saw that Steph struggled. Castle was a much different player once he got a lot of reps under his belt. The player that he was beginning of the year, middle of the year, to end of the year was much different type of situation. So Liam needs the reps. Liam's further ahead than Steph was coming in, but where Steph got at the end of the season, his performance at the Final Four solidified his top 5 standing.
Dan, how much do you think being the winningest player or one of the winningest players,
Is it my responsibility to figure out who gets to ask, or is it Bobby Mullen?
No.
All right, sorry.
Come to me next.
It's me. It's
How much do you think Alex is driven by the idea of being one of or the winningest player?
I don't think enough. If I was him, I'd be running around screaming at people. You know, I would be running around. If I had on the line what he has on the line this year in terms of standing in sport, claim to career, the things he's trying to do from a draft standpoint, I would get more lockstep in terms of it becoming more of an Alex-led team. Right now, Alex is incredible, lead by example, work ethic, just knowing where to be, just like he's on point in every way, but more like on his teammates right now, holding other people accountable more, which is tough for this generation because, you know, we've made people softer. We've made, particularly young men, we're making them softer by not holding them accountable more, by not, you know, giving them tough love. Obviously, there's a lot of relationship building and trust that has to be formed before you can really be tough on people and drive them and push them to be their best. But, you know, I think that if I had on the line what he does right now, I'd be breathing fire on a daily basis.
So that's your challenge then?
Yes, both in here, because I know he's going to see this, and I'm communicating to my team and to him through you people.
Dave, he said he still sees pictures of his first, like his redshirt year. He says, first of all, he looked ridiculous without a beard.
I look like Ichabod Crane, man. I look like the Headless Horseman, man. Shot.
What else do you remember about that early acclimation period for him and just his evolution since?
Yeah, I mean, he his ability to pick up concepts and process the game, how simple he kept his life. Like I said before, it's his education, it's his family, and it's basketball. And he's not caught up in NIL and agents and getting more followers or posting videos. I mean, the guy just wants to win. He wants to get better. He wants to be a great basketball player. He wants to win championships. He wants to do his best. I mean, it's like, I guess it's boring, I guess, for people.
Coach Hurley,
people.
you're going into the season back-to-back champions.
Yeah.
With a possible three-peat, how are you approaching this upcoming season because of that? Like, there must be some sort of pressure to be successful.
No pressure. No pressure. In one way, I guess you look at it and you say to yourself, in a weird way, you probably say to yourself, all right, if we don't win 3 in a row, what are people going to say? You suck as a coach, you can only win 2 in a row, you know? So it's like a small part of you. But you spend so much time obsessing over where your team's at. And in my mind, every year, no matter what we've accomplished before, if you're the coach at UConn and you have the resources that are poured into your program, that I have poured into mine, and the way the school has invested in me in terms of my contract, that I owe it to the people that invest in me and invest in these players to literally drive the people around you to places that you don't think that they can get to in such a pathological, sick, obsessive way that you're just pursuing the championships so friggin' hard, you know, like you're not even thinking about the three-peat pressure because you're so obsessed with the process, I guess.
Coach,
Yeah. I think just to where the program has gone, but it took the failure. It took, we did a lot of things right. I mean, we culture check, defense, toughness. I think we ran a lot of good things on offense too. Those years that we were early exit from the NCAAs and came up short in the Big East tournament in the regular season, but we were doing a lot of things great. We just weren't championship caliber because we had vulnerabilities in our attack. We had holes in our approach. Most of them I think were roster construction. I think they were also too the type of people, personality-wise, the pedigree, bringing in individuals that can handle the pressure of March and the pressure of playing at UConn. Not everyone could play for me. Not everyone could play at UConn and thrive and succeed. The intensity of the program is enormous, and the pressure to perform in March is very, very enormous. It's different than playing at a place where just getting to the tournament and winning the first round game, everyone's throwing you contract extensions and flowers. That's not this place. You have to be a champion here to be remembered and to be celebrated. And I think we zeroed in on the type of men that could be successful here, and more recruiting offensive players that could score and could run complex offensive systems and make plays, and then we'll teach them how to play defense. Was probably a philosophical shift.